Welcome into another video in my series where I'm going through and testing all the weapons inside of Modern Warfare 3 to see how viable these weapons are for us to be using in our Zombies game mode. This is going to include the aftermarket parts, the aftermarket conversion kits, as well as the MW2 weapons. So if you're new around here and you like everything Call of Duty Zombies, make sure you are subscribed with those bell notifications turned on so you're not going to miss out any future uploads from myself. As well, down below in the description you will find the link for my streams. I stream on Mondays and Thursdays, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I stream a ton of custom zombies and other zombie related games and generally have a ton of fun over there, and would hope to see you all come and hang out. Now in today's video, before I dive into any weapon review stuff, I just want to mention that we are, as of recording this morning, under 50 subscribers away from reaching our 4,000 subscriber goal on the channel, which will unlock our third Black Ops 6 giveaway, and I could not be more excited to be able to give back. So just keep your eyes open. If you're not subscribed, make sure you do so you can get a chance to win a copy of Black Ops 6. Now in today's video, we're going to be diving through an SMG that I rarely used at all. Again, I've been going through and trying to finish off the bioluminescent camos I need. So we dumped into an MW2 SMG that I haven't used very much, and it surprised me. Very decent weapon for sure. So today we're going to have a look at the ISO-45 from MW2. We're going to take that on through all three tiers, taking on bounty contracts all the way through. So hopefully by the end of today's video you have a really good feel for how this SMG performs inside of our Zombies game mode, and hopefully by the end of the video you'll be able to make up your mind on whether or not it's going to be a viable option for you to be using inside of your Zombies game mode. So without further ado, let's dive into the ISO-45 review video today. Welcome into today's video. Thank you so very much for tuning in. I truly do appreciate that. Now in today's video, we're going to be checking out an MW2 SMG, the ISO-45. We've got a blueprint on there and a camo combo that I think looks absolutely amazing. So I'm going to be looking to keep that on the run for today 100%. Now, if you're new around to the channel, when I spawn in and do my weapon testing here on this channel, I spawn in and put on my perks with no additions to the weapon to make it any stronger whatsoever. I do have a couple extras today. We're going to be bringing in our ether blade, as I just had an extra one, so I figured why not use that. And then we got mags of holding to equip on the weapon later on to see how it performs with that. So make sure you watch the whole video all the way through for see how it performs later on with mags of holding. As well, in the video, you don't need to worry. I do have the weapon build, the blueprint, and the camo in here, so you guys are covered for that. Now we go and grab our first bounty contract of the day, and we take those on at white rarity with absolutely no additions to the weapon whatsoever to make it any stronger. As a mouse and keyboard player, I do run Deadshot Daiquiri as I like the extra critical damage that it does provide, so that's about the only thing I have that increases damage on a base weapon. So you can see we took on our first bounty, the Mimic, at white rarity, and you can see like this SMG has some remarkable damage. I was literally blown away by the loot out of our first tier 1 bounty contract. PAP 2 crystal, self-revive, and a schematic. Holy smokes. I was not expecting that. But seeing how well it kind of performed against our first bounty, I was feeling really comfortable using this weapon. I mean, they're SMGs. If you've been following the channel, you know SMGs are one of my favorite weapons to use inside of MW3 Zombies, as it, you know, you've got that movement speed that you need. So the next thing to do was to increase the damage output on this SMG. So we visited Pack-a-Punch machine, and we meleeed the machine first before using it, or applying a PAP crystal so we can keep the camo blueprint combination we have on our weapon for the rest of our run. And then we were off to grab our next bounty contract inside of tier 2, but on my way I noticed that there was a player down, and at this particular location it is the Merc contract, the ether reactors or whatever. So I noticed the player was down here in tier 1 and they were doing that contract, so I figured I'd hop down and make sure we get them up, make sure they can get back in the fight. I had to clear out a few of the Mercs for them here so that I could even drop in and get the revive. But I mean, you can see like this SMG just packed a white rarity. I was having no issues dealing with the Mercs inside of here at all, like none at all, which was awesome. So got player back up and he got back into the fight, and that was awesome. So off we went and picked up our second bounty contract inside of tier 1. Looking to take this one on right now at Pack-a-Punch with white rarity, no ammo mods, and no tools on the weapon at all. So we wanted to see how it performed just at Pack-a-Punch against our second Mimic bounty contract inside of Tier 1. And I was thoroughly impressed with just how easy I was able to complete that contract. That was really, really not much of a struggle at all. So I was feeling really kind of excited to see how this weapon is going to perform as we continue to increase the damage output. Here we're going to throw on Legendary and Shatter Blast and have some fun with our last bounty contract inside of Tier 1. As, of course, this will just be an easy, almost instant delete bounty contract. So I like to do these inside of Tier 1. It is definitely fun to be able to take on a bounty contract and just absolutely destroy it. So this contract here isn't necessarily so much for weapon testing as it is just personal enjoyment. We absolutely shredded that Mangler in Tier 1. Like, holy smokes. I mean, if you're Pack 1, Legendary, Epic, or Blue inside of Tier 1 with this SMG, you're going to cakewalk through virtually everything inside of that tier. So that is definitely good news and definitely awesome to see. So now it was, you know, to make a beeline into Tier 2. Don't want to increase any damage output on the weapon at all. I want to keep it where it was at Pack 1 Legendary with my ammo mod on it and grab our bounty contract inside of Tier 2, which was a Disciple. And I do not like Disciples, just the amount of movement they do, their healing off of you right here, their extra health they do to the zombies area. Not my favorite bounty contract to deal with in the game by far. However, they do give you an opportunity to see just how strong this weapon is inside of Tier 2, being only Pack 1. This Mimic caused me so many issues. He got me down to 3 health. Like, what are you doing, buddy? You were not even included in the fight. I don't even know where he came from. It must have been an infested stronghold somewhere nearby that he popped out of. But anyway, definitely causing me problems. Had to back away, get some room, and clear out some of the riffraff so that I could continue to focus fire in on the bounty contract, which was the Disciple. And I had almost finished him. Like, he was down to like 1 shot left when that Mimic grabbed me and threw me and took me down to 3 health. I was not impressed at all. But we finished off our Disciple bounty inside of Tier 2 there with literally no struggle. The only issue I had was getting grabbed by that Mimic that showed up out of nowhere. And I hate it when that happens. You go to grab a power-up and it just disappears the second before you get there. So annoying. Anyway, as I didn't have golden armor plates today, I wanted to make sure I grabbed all the plates that we dropped on the ground. Check the reward rift. We got another perk out of that, which was awesome. So the next thing to do, as I was really kind of intrigued to see that this weapon has been slaying virtually everything so far in our match. We're now in Tier 2. We took on a bounty contract at Pack 1. It wasn't much of an issue. Wasn't much of a struggle. So visit Pack-a-Punch again inside of Tier 2. Let's push the damage output again a little bit higher and go ahead and grab ourselves our second bounty contract and the last one we're going to be doing today inside of Tier 2. Now, this bounty contract, I would expect it to perform much the same as our last one in Tier 1. So the Legendary Pack-a-Punch with a ammo mod in Tier 1 was almost an instant delete. I was expecting the Tier 2 bounty to be virtually the same thing. It basically was, aside from that dog that caused me some problems. That Mangler did not stand much of a chance. We got a nuke, which was awesome to clear out the riffraff so I can get into the reward rift. We got a Casimir and Speed Cola, which I already had. So at this point, I was like, there's really only one place I want to be heading right now, and that is into Tier 3. I want to stop at the Wonder Fizz. I want to grab all of my perks and then go off and see what this SMG can do, dealing with Tier 3 congestion and Tier 3 as a whole, see how it performs. So we stopped at the Wonder Fizz machine, grabbed the last 3 perks that I was missing, which wasn't too bad. We did a pretty decent job on picking up perks through the early part of the video for contracts, so that was nice to see. I like to come over here, as you know, and check and see if I can use this ritual to grab a Legendary and a PAP 3 crystal, but this one had been taken, and usually if this one's gone, then I'm almost 100% sure that the other 2 rituals were taken. But this does give me an opportunity to turn around and have all of the zombies that were distracted with my decoy when I used the Wonder Fizz and take them on at Pack 2 Legendary inside of Tier 3, and to see how well this SMG performs. And I was impressed. I was definitely impressed with just how well it is handling the zombies inside of Tier 3, being only Pack 2. Like, that was a small sample size, but I felt like it was doing a really good job. So here we are, got a bunch more zombies together. We're still Pack-a-Punch 2 Legendary with our ammo mod on it, and I was really impressed with just how well this was handling the crowd control, how well it was handling all the zombies in the area. We've got the armored zombies. You can see them taking a bunch of health off as this SMG registers the critical shot. So I was really impressed. And I just got to say that camo looks absolutely amazing in the dark. Oh my goodness. So we finished off that crowd control inside of Tier 3 at Pack 2. The next thing to do was to grab an actual proper sized horde and show you guys crowd control at Pack-a-Punch 2 inside of Tier 3. We took on a standard HVT. That Mangler in the area didn't have much of an issue with that. The zombies are just kind of pushing forward here at me. I'm just kind of walking backwards, ADSing, and continuing to be able to handle the crowd control in front of me. Being only Pack-a-Punch 2 inside of Tier 3, I was very impressed with the damage output of this SMG. If you guys haven't had a chance to run this one yet, I would highly recommend you go ahead and give this a shot in-game and see how it performs for you. I mean, you can see on screen the damage I'm able to dish out at this weapon being Pack-a-Punch 2. Legendary inside of Tier 3. It's definitely a viable option. So now it's time to throw on Pack-a-Punch 3 and see just what this SMG can do. We're at max damage output, we've got Legendary, we're at Pack 3, and we have an ammo mod, and we wanted to see crowd control again. Not an issue at all. Even easier than it was at Pack 2, obviously, as we have more damage output. But I mean, you can see the health bars on the zombies are just like instantly gone. I think it's 2 or 3 shots and the zombies are getting wrecked. So it's time to go visit Zhorde, the Guardian of the Arches. And I tell you, George was having none of it today. He was not impressed with me at all. Fired up his first laser attack here, made sure he got me stuck, and I took it down. George, I'm telling you, he's had enough of me. He's literally had enough of me. He was not in the mood for any of my shenanigans or tactics today at all. George was definitely being extra aggressive. His buddy Mangler here in the area was definitely not helping the cause at all. In fact, Mangler here is the reason, or the dogs, I think it was the Mangler. Did I get rid of the Mangler? I did get rid of the Mangler. It was the dogs. But I'm telling you, George was having none of it. Fired up his laser attack again, got me stuck in the middle. I tried to get out of there. I got down trying to mantle over the edge. Like, I'm telling you, George was not in the mood for a fight today. He was in the mood to take me out. I think he's had enough of me coming in here and taking him out every single match I play. So I'm not sure. Maybe we'll have to move on from George. Let me know in the comment section what you all think. Should we continue to take on George, or should we move on and pick on another Mega Abomination inside of Tier 3? But you can see the critical damage we're able to do to the Mega Abomination inside of Tier 3. He's not even firing up his laser attack, and you can see the critical damage on his health bar right there is pretty substantial with this SMG. We're able to kind of melt his health bar down, just kind of standing up here and dishing out the damage, which is awesome to see. This is definitely going to be a viable option to run in your zombies games. I've seen in the comments a couple suggestions to run weapons that are not viable in MW3 Zombies. So let me know in the comments section if that is something that you would all like to see me do some runs where I'm probably going to end up getting clapped. But we can put on some of the worst weapons to use in the game and, you know, have some fun and see how they perform. So let me know if that's something you'd be interested in seeing on the channel. I certainly would be happy to do that. Also, later this week, I've got the start of my solo runs through all of the Dark Ethers. So we're going to be starting at Season 1 and completing that, an Elder solo, and seeing how that works. And then same with Season 2, we'll do an Elder solo, and Season 3, an Elder solo. So that's how that works. Now, this is a little strategy I wanted to show you. We grabbed a bounty contract here. We got a Mega Abomination. I took another down. I tell you, today was not my day inside of Zombies. Just getting absolutely wrecked. But I did want to show you this. If you guys are new to Zombies, it's on Game Pass. Maybe you just jumped into play, and you have seen the circuit turret boards in your loot caches that you've been opening, and you're not sure what they're for or if they're even very effective. So what I did here is I brought our bounty contract over to a circuit turret and put in 2 circuit turret boards to activate it. And the reason I did that is we had less than 2 minutes to go in the match before the storm started moving when I grabbed my Mega Abomination bounty contract. Now I just wanted to show you all how unbelievably effective these circuit turrets are and just how incredibly OP and strong they are. They took out our bounty contract and the Bathhouse Bouncer Mega Abomination in the area as well. Check the loot. We got a Wonder Waff, which I don't really want, and a Sigil, which was nice to see. And then I was Trying to show you another bounty contract, but of course there is none inside of tier 3 at this point in my match. So I figured, you know what, we'll grab one of the Outlast contracts and we'll show you guys that, you know, start to finish to complete, so that you can have a really good feel, you know, for how this SMG performs inside of tier 3, handling, you know, HVTs, crowd control, an Outlast contract. So you really should have a pretty good feel for how this weapon performs inside of zombies, and you know, whether or not this weapon is going to be something that's a viable option for you to be using based on your playstyle. So here we are, we activated our Outlast and we're going to hang out. Now you can see the zombies are getting killed right there. That is the circuit turret that is outside, that is taking out a bunch of zombies that are trying to make their way in to the Outlast contract. So that's another reason why the circuit turrets are definitely awesome to use. Now, just as I was recording this video today, Treyarch decided to drop the map trailer for Black Ops 6 Terminus map, which we're getting on release. Unbelievable. It looks absolutely amazing. If you've watched it, let me know what you think of the Terminus Zombies map trailer for Black Ops 6. Let me know what your thoughts are on it. I think it looks absolutely amazing. I'm super stoked that we've got Rick Toffin is being the bad guy. He's the villain in this Black Ops 6, and I'm so excited for that story. Super cool, super cool. If you don't know what I'm talking about, definitely check out that video on Call of Duty's YouTube channel. It's definitely a cool trailer for sure. So here we are, we're working on the Outlast contract, and you can see I wasn't having much struggle at all. I've got that the circuit turret going outside the Outlast contract here, and it definitely handles a lot of the crowd control that's trying to get in to the Outlast and get at me, and it handles them very well. And then right at the end of the contract, it gets absolutely insane. They throw just about everything at you. You can see they took out all of my armor plates, took a ton of health off. We got an HVT in the area, a mangler. It just gets absolutely crazy at the end of it, and this SMG just shreds. Like, we just melted that mangler, HVT, not a problem. Like, I just stood there and took him out, got the self-revive. At that point, I realized I didn't even have a self-revive equipped, and I'd probably been running most of this run after I took that last down without even equipping a self-revive. Silly me, not very good. That definitely would have been no bueno if I had gone down. We would have had to plea and hope that someone was going to come get us. Got an epic tool and another schematic out there. I thought I would grab that schematic. I know the tier 3 ones can be a little tricky to try and find, and hopefully I'd be able to drop that off for someone. But there wasn't many players left on the match, and so it was time to ping an exfil and make our way out of there. There was another player down at the bottom corner of the map that did not seem to be moving toward an exfil. I mentioned to him to kind of get on his horse and get to an exfil. He started making his way after I said that to the exfil chopper. I was going to stay right here and just kind of make sure he was going to be able to get to the exfil chopper, but it looked like he was in a car and he was making his way to the exfil and he was going to be okay, so I decided to head out. But overall, I definitely feel like the ISO-45 SMG from MW2 is going to be a viable option for us to be using inside of our Zombies game mode. I really enjoyed using it today. It was a ton of fun to run this weapon. This is the build that I put together for today's run. Like I said, there's probably some room to move on the build for movement or speed, so go ahead and make those suggestions and changes and work together down below in the comments section so we all have one amazing ISO-45 build to run. If you're wondering the camo I was using today, it is in your glittery flats, and it's the Crimson Sands one I was using, and the blueprint that I was running on the ISO-45 I will show you here. Thank you all for tuning in so very much, and we'll see you in the next one.